How's it going, friends? Welcome into a very special audio editorial of Warner Brothers, DCEU, and its future. I'm Mike Mercado. You can follow me everywhere in the universe. I'm on Twitter at mmercado2333. Do us a favor, subscribe to us on YouTube at Mike Mercado2333. Also, help us out and like the Facebook page of Outreach Radio Chicago. So today we're going to talk about Warner Brothers DC Extended Universe that has to deal with Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and the movie that was number one in the box office, coming in at $135 million, Suicide Squad. This movie came out, and just like Batman vs. Superman, and quite frankly, just like Man of Steel, very divisive between fans, critics, and within those groups themselves, divided. Right now on Rotten Tomatoes, as I'm recording this, it has a 72% from the audience and a 26% from the critics. Now, obviously, we know how Rotten Tomatoes works. You know, it's an algorithm. It's a bunch of different consensus of different reviewers' reviews of the movie. So it got me thinking. Another movie from Warner Brothers in this new universe that they're creating didn't hit it out of the ballpark like they thought it was going to. Now, granted, Suicide Squad has now broken the record for the number one opening in August. But what does that mean? At one point, this movie was tracking for $160 million. Looking at it now, at 135, is that a disappointment? And the only reason I even say making that much money is disappointment, if you would have said 2 years ago that Suicide Squad would make that much money, you know, we would all be sitting here saying, there's no way, you know, you'll take it what you can. But it's not like Deadpool earlier on this year. That movie was made for $70 million, $80 million, around that ballpark, right? Made for, what was it, 400, anywhere from $400 to $700 million worldwide. The production, the marketing, the what you split revenue with the movie theaters, Suicide Squad needs to make a hell of a lot more money worldwide and cannot have a big drop-off for them to be in the positive, in the green, for Warner Brothers, that is. When you think of all that, it makes you wonder what is going on with this cinematic universe that Warner Brothers has with the DC properties. Now, mind you, we're spoiled right now with what Disney is doing with Marvel Studios. That's not the norm. Starting franchises shouldn't be that easy. Making these shared universes was unheard of before this. And now DC and Warner Brothers are trying to catch up. And to some people, they've hit it out of the stadium and you know, they've dominated with their 3 releases in this universe. A lot of people can't stand what they've done and aren't hyped for a Wonder Woman and Justice League coming down the pipeline with Aquaman and a Flash movie. So there's a few things that I want to touch base on with you guys. And please, this is a conversation, so I want to know exactly what you guys do. Please leave me a comment on the YouTube page. That's Mike Mercado2333. Also, give me a tweet at mmercado2333. Also, follow us there. You guys can see all the cool projects and other audio stuff that we're doing here and on the YouTube page. First of all, again, one of the points I want to make has to deal with the fact that this is a new universe. We're only 3 movies in at this point. 3 movies into what is going to be a huge, huge universe filled with amazing characters and so many plot lines. And they haven't gotten off to the best of starts. But all things being considered, with how hard it is to do things like this, like starting a whole movie franchise universe with multiple actors and characters, and again, what's the president of it? Marvel, the one in the history of films. There's also a course correction that you've kind of noticed from Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Suicide Squad, leading into Wonder Woman, Justice League, and the future films. You could see Warner Brothers and the movie execs over there who are running the DC division or running the whole movie division have made a course correction. They have changed exactly the tones of these films. I don't know if they've changed the destination storyline wise, I don't know if they've changed plans when it comes to what the ultimate end of this story arc was going to be. But the tones of the movie are different. The humor is going to be in there. The key is it shoehorned in? Are you forcing it? Is that what the story calls for? I don't know. I don't know exactly what these future director, writers, and actors have to work with, but it's interesting to see the universe, even at its infancy, how much it's changed already, just within a few movies. The IP. I think that's what the intellectual properties that are Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, everybody in the Justice League, The Flash, their lore, their stories are a fountain of amazing tales that you could tell for years to come. They have to be done right. They can't just be slapped together because the going audience will not just get up and go anymore and spend $15 per ticket. When you go on Netflix and watch things like the awesome series that me and the special lady just started in Stranger Things, or you go to your HBO Go app and you're watching The Night Of. There's just so many amazing things. Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Ray Donovan, whatever you want to name, all the great lists that you see on YouTube and on Clickbait, Facebook, and Twitter. Right? You don't have to leave home. So they have to take these IPs seriously. And if they do, they have a gold mine. And with those kind of IPs, the future movies all hinge on the directors and how they lead the film with the actors. If you hear the rumors and if they're true, David Ayer was forced in the sense that he was told by the studio to write the script for Suicide Squad in 6 weeks. Now, there's a lot of people on all spectrums of YouTube, websites, newspaper, radio, whatever it is, that feels, you could spend 3 days in Vegas and write an awesome story. For some movies, like a Friday the 13th, it's not hard to write a Jason Voorhees movie. But when you're writing stories like this, it's tough. You got to go through different drafts. Different eyes have to see it. It has to be a collaboration of different minds, and then given to the head guy like a David Ayer and let him rock with it. Not the other way around. You can't force somebody to say, okay, now just go. It doesn't work that way. Now when all this is being invested in it. Now, I hate having to even bring this up because I feel even now it doesn't even deserve its place. But a lot of people believe that DC is getting a lot of hate on just because it's cool. Because everybody hates DC movies. Look, movies are subjective. And you can't say whether somebody's right or wrong. My opinion of a movie is different than yours. But there's no bias towards these movies. These are some of the coolest characters in all of pop culture, in all of literature, in any walk of entertainment. People don't want to make bad movies. People don't want to hate movies. There are trolls out there that just want to hate. But these reviewers and just the normal person isn't going in, I want to hate Batman. Why? Like the normal, the straight thinking person who has all their functions together somewhat in this crazy world. It's not going to go in and say, I need Iron Man to be bad. Why? You want a cool movie. That's what we all want. We want to be entertained. I can't tell you whether or not DC is going to be able to get out of this rut. I hope they can. And they had a hard time to begin with at Jump Street because they're following up arguably the greatest superhero and or detective movie trilogy of all time in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. So to follow that up, and they try to stay somewhat in the realistic tone, and they didn't know exactly what they wanted to be, and now you're kind of seeing what happened with that and the reaction towards it, and now they're trying to change it again. For a lot of people, for me specifically, okay, I'm not going to even bunch in people. For me specifically, in the new 3 movies that have come out in this DCEU that Warner Brothers has given us, that we are lucky to have to begin with as fanboys, fangirls. Strictly speaking, as movies, I think they're 1 for 3. Maybe 1.5 out of 3. I think Man of Steel was a really, really good movie. I don't think it was great like some people do, but I think it was really, 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 really good. Batman vs. Superman was a disappointment to me, and whether or not that's because of expectations or my delusion of what I thought this type of movie could have been, that may be the case. But it was a disappointment to me, and there was only so many fun parts of it. And Suicide Squad, for all the mess that is in that movie, there's a lot of cool in it. There's a lot of potential in there. So I got to give credit where credit's due. But 1.5 out of 3, I mean, take that for what it is. But I want to know exactly what you guys think. Let's get the conversation going. Comment us on the YouTube page on this video at Mike Mercado 2333. Please subscribe to us, guys. We really appreciate that. Also, follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. See what we're up to day to day. Also, if you can do me a huge favor, we do the community show Outreach Radio Chicago. So go to Facebook and just like us there. We'd really appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this audio editorial of the DCEU Warner Brothers Future. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.